Okay, thank you for coming to our class. And I see that clearly that we have fewer students today, but I know maybe the class may not be the most fun, but I think another reason is I know many of you are very busy. So, but try not to. I think you made the right choice of coming because if you leave everything to the end, just before the test or exam, things are going to be very difficult and you will not have time for your brain to digest everything. So it is a good idea for you to spread out the learning evenly throughout the whole term. And then all these things would not be rote memorization. So it's not what we call 死記, okay? The English of uh, uh, 死記 is rote memorization. Okay, ROTE. It's like forcing it. So today and a little bit of next week, we will talk about a topic is important for your future job and also important for the exam. Okay, because testing, I will share you with my own stories at IBM. That testing is actually a much more respectful job than many of you or I used to think. Okay, in fact, when I was approaching my graduation, so I went to the job center to see what jobs are there. I would not consider testing job back then, but if after some experience, I think testing is a very important job, and also testing is a lot more than, I think I remember some of my previous students, their summer job is like just testing some phone or some apps on the phone, okay? But there are also more systematic type of testing, not just as a user playing with a game or an application. So we will learn about how to do testing systematically, okay? But of course, even though it's important, it also has limitation. So we learned there are many kinds of testing, unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testings, and if you don't know these terms, after going out to join the workforce, people would look at you and then maybe probably blame me for not teaching you software engineering, stuff like that. And also, you may look like a very weak employee in front of them. Of course, if they ask you at job interview, you probably won't get hired anyway. So we will discuss, or actually you would actually see in action that we can even write tests before writing the program. And in fact, the test can be automated too. So you can automate your test. So it's not manually by someone pounding on the keyboard, but it could be just entering a command. You can run several thousand tests. And there are testing techniques to learn. Some basic ones everyone should know, like equivalence testing, boundary testing, path testing, state-based testing. But of course, since you're my students, I have this special treat for you. You learn testing that most university students won't learn. For example, pairwise testing, mutation testing. Although this we won't have time for this week. It will likely be taught next week. So testing for a company, is it important? Well, this is now old story, like almost 9 years old, so I'll only tell this very quickly. I bought, because I was still studying for my PhD in 2007. So 2008, I came back to Hong Kong, and of course, I want to enjoy high definition TV, and I bought a set-top box. The brand was Topcon, and so the TV was great, and I'm still using it today, and I think I probably can use it for another 10 years. It should still work fine. But this Topcon box, set-top box, you've seen I think you probably, if you go to 深水埗, what's that called? 黃金商場, right? You may have seen this Topcon is actually a low-end, inexpensive brand. Probably it's a Hong Kong brand. They used to make set-top box, and I think they also made monitors. And I had problem with it. It has some, whenever I try to, because it allowed me to record a program, then of course now with new feature by TVB, whatever, you can even do like on-demand programming, so you don't have to record. But back then, I need to record, and the nice thing about recording is I can fast forward all the TV commercial. But the problem is, when I do that, once in a while, it will hang. And if it hangs, that means, in the worst case, I need to switch off and switch back on again, and it takes time. Okay, so there are other problems. I don't care to talk about it now. But what it means is, from this point on, whatever I buy, even when I'm buying a monitor, it's not a set-top box, I will not be foolish enough to buy Topcon again. Okay, maybe after 10 years, maybe like in 2018, maybe I would give them a second chance. Just like going to restaurants. If I don't like the food, at least for a year or two, I won't go to the same restaurant again. And with electronics, the punishment may be worse. Okay, for example, I had some bad experience with Acer, and also I won't. But I guess not as bad as this one, but mediocre experience. I will wait 3-4 years to buy Acer again. But what happened is, the second time I bought Acer, it's still a very bad machine. So next time I would wait longer than 3-4 years. I probably will wait another 10 years to buy Acer again. But sometimes things are more tragic. There is a machine, they use some, I don't know what exactly it is used, but it is a cancer treatment machine called Therac 25. Okay, I think they try to kill cancer terms, use radiation or something like that. I mean, cancer cells. And so they are very expensive machine, and they don't make many of them. And of course, not many hospitals will be able to afford them, and maybe there's more than one companies building those machines. So they, for how long? In 4 years time, they sold and installed 11 of those machines. And the programs was written in assembler language, which is basically some sort of computer machine language, using a very old CPU called PDP-11. Okay, the company no longer exists now. The company is called Digital, or people call it for short DEC, DEC DEC. So that was actually PDP-11 was an important CPU back then, and there was a problem with multi-threading, that some shared variables not synchronized. So data, some of you will be taking 311, which you will learn about synchronization, how to access multiple threads can access same variables safely. Okay, but without the synchronization, uh, things would go wrong. But the problem is not every time things would go wrong, only occasionally. This is the type of problem with multi-threading or multiprocessing. The problems don't appear every time. Like maybe sometimes only once in a long while, then you have problem. And so it took a long time before people figure out there's a problem, because one thing, the problem doesn't appear every time, and also because patients, cancer patients, many cancer patients, they don't react well to treatment. So cancer patients, many of them died afterward anyway. So uh, it delayed the detection of the problem, but you can see some software like is a lot worse than my TopCon. Okay, my TopCon, I waste a couple minutes, okay, to restart the machine if it's hanged. Uh, but with that, it can kill people. So that's why we teach you some design by contract sort of techniques, or some techniques that we don't teach in this course called formal methods. We can actually have some mathematical way of doing things that is like writing a mathematical proof. So not only think the software will work, but actually we write a proof to prove it works. How about hardware? Today, um, actually, the boundary of hardware and software is not so clear cut. And actually, there's a term called firmware. Firmware is sort of halfway between hardware and software. But even these sort of things, even what we consider hardware can have problem. Okay, so because the sophistication of some hardware designs can actually rival software. And so Intel made 100,000 units that can do multiplication wrong, okay? And so it was a big news back then. Okay. One last example, although this is a long time ago. In the year of 2003, you were born already. That was the year Hong Kong SARS happened in Hong Kong. So I was living in Hong Kong that time, and then my family decided to move back. And so my wife and son moved back to Canada by that time, and I was returning in September and I just missed that power outage. Power outage is 停電, okay? But that was the biggest one in history. Imagine 5,500,000人冇電用. For how long? For almost 2 days. That was a big thing. And it was lucky that in August it was warm, okay? The thing, in Canada, in US, people cook at home using electricity because I guess electricity is cheaper in North America, and also we close the windows most of the time. So we close the windows because winter is cold. We close the windows most of the time, and without ventilation, good ventilation, you should not be using fire in the house. So we don't cook with gas, with town gas. In Canada, very few homes use town gas to cook. So that means people can cook, right? For 2 days, not that bad. 因為喺加拿大咧，啲人係好興燒嘢食嘅，咁差唔多家戶咧都有一個燒烤爐。咁我哋咧就通常就會喺 backyard 咁樣 咁燒去食，咁所以有2日好多人就會即係食好多燒牛扒啊咁樣，即係啲人成日以為話鬼佬食好多牛扒咧，其實佢哋都唔係個個鬼佬餐食牛扒嘅，第一會好貴啦，即係鬼佬啲牛扒，同埋即係我諗會死得，即係如果你餐食10安士牛扒嘅話，我諗個人會係其中一樣即係對身體較為差嘅紅肉啦，即係食得太多應該唔係咁好嘅。OK， 咁so summer it wasn't so bad. Okay, imagine if it happened in the winter time. Okay, in North America the temperature can get below freezing, under 0 degree, and 喺屋企可唔可以燒即係取暖啊燒嘢嗰啲咁啦？我哋講過咧，即係話如果你冇通風嘅時候咧，你着火嘅時候咧，你會有 carbon monoxide， 所以冬天打邊爐千祈你哋唔好閂晒個窗打邊爐，如果唔係即係等於燒炭，即係等於OK。So I hope 或者喺香港嘅人冇咁蠢啦，即係可能係喺啲加拿大住過嘅人翻香港先至會咁蠢，即係閂埋啲窗開煮食爐啊或者咁樣。OK， 應該你係會聰明啲嘅。咁咧 OK，so fortunately it didn't happen in winter. Otherwise, some old people would like the cold temperature could kill some very old and weak people. So what was in the center of the problem? General Electric is a very large company. GE, sometimes you can buy some electrical appliances with this label, General Electric, but they make a lot more than home appliances. 除咗做家電之外咧，佢係連呢啲發電廠嘅 energy management 嘅 system 都係一樣有做嘅。OK， 咁let's see. It happened after the system have been used for we call it 340 computer years. This number is equivalent to 34 computers, each running for 10 years. That's 340 computer years. Or 68, twice as many computers running for half the time, let's say for 5 years. So it was due to a bug in that system. Okay, that caused the whole thing 5500萬人冇電。Okay, you would imagine, you would think, how can it happen? Well, because, well, for one thing, it's been used for 340 computer years, and also lots of testing should have gone in before that. Exactly, because today the kind of programs you are writing are a lot more complex than the old times. Old times, we mainly write sequential programs, okay? So step by step. And even if we have to jump, it will jump like this, right? But now parallel programs, you have many parallel programs, and some may interact with this with all sorts of different ways. So if they don't interact in a certain situation, certain case, the problems can go on many years. Still, the bug is in the code waiting to happen. But it takes many very specific situations. So the parallel programs thing make testing even more challenging. Okay, so but software testing is very difficult because just think of sequential systems. For sequential systems, usually there would be too many input data to test exhaustively. Exhaustive means completely. You cannot possibly test all the possible input data. You can only select some. And so Dijkstra has said something very, Dijkstra is one of the most famous computer scientists. his undergraduate training was in physics, but then he became a very famous computer scientist. He said, testing only shows the presence of bugs. It doesn't show the absence. And what this says is like, 好似一個人話我乜嘢都冇見到 ，OK， 我乜嘢都冇見到。但係當你話我乜嘢都冇見到嘅時候咧，有冇代表嗰啲嘢冇發生過㗎？或者你係只不過係有埲牆隔住你睇唔到啫 ，OK， 或者你嘅即係視覺好差咁樣，所以maybe it just maybe that the way you test it is not good. You did not test it effective enough, or just like this GE energy management system, okay, it's not, you didn't do it well enough, the testing. So yes, it's a very difficult task, but it's very important. Okay. But code review is a way of putting in quality into the code without testing. Okay, what it means is that you have a group of people study some code together. That's called code review. And you actually, there are two slightly different terms. One is called walkthrough. One is called inspection. When you use the term walkthrough, it means the code review is done only very casually. That means, well, people do not have to be very, very serious, very, very straight, okay? They follow only rough guidelines. But in the case of inspection, people take very concrete steps, very careful, exact steps, and spend a lot of time to study the code carefully. So code review can be more casual or can be very rigorous. And of course, review is not limited to code, program code. It can also referring to a project plans. It could refer to requirement specification and so on. So there are different things you can review with a team of people. So someone wrote it, and then other people will help him or her to decide whether the quality is good enough. So this is another approach to improve quality without actually testing the program. Okay, but not everyone think code review is cost effective enough to be used in all projects. So some people don't use code review. So let's see, this is called fag-end inspection. It goes through the steps of planning, overview, preparation, the actual meeting, rework, and after rework, you may have to go through the previous thing again. And so there are three kinds of role in fag-end inspection. Fag-end is actually the last name of a person, someone's family name. Okay, it's the person who invented this method at IBM. Of course, you may not know, way back IBM was the biggest name in computer, whether hardware or software. In the old days, IBM made most of the money by selling hardware, and way back, software was either cheap or free. So they earn the money by hardware. So that's why they gave away the important business to Bill Gates. I think Bill Gates, when he got the business from IBM, he was only around 21. Okay, so IBM probably figure out Bill Gates, this guy is very smart, and he can do the thing at a very cheap cost to us. So for the IBM PC, who that perhaps changed the world, the way the world look at computer. They gave this task to Bill Gates, and then Bill Gates became so big with his company. So if IBM did not give the work to Bill Gates, the computer world might be different. Okay, might be. Microsoft, there may not be Microsoft, and if there is, it may not be the same Microsoft. So, but that's why just a story that IBM once upon a time, like 30, 40 years ago, was the biggest name, dominant figure in everything about computer. So there are 3 roles, different roles in FAGN inspection. First role is the programmer, the author who did something that needs to be inspected, and a moderator, a facilitator who coordinate the meeting, who coordinate everything. Okay, for example, booking the room, collecting, distributing the inspection materials. And there are other participants, maybe depending on what work it is. If it is the source code software that needs to be inspected, then other participants may be programmers. If the code being the work being inspected, if it is a design document, then the participants may be analysts. Okay, so the participants may depend on what work is being inspected. So this is the detailed steps. Initially, there should be some planning. We said in the planning part, you need to distribute some materials for people to study, to prepare ahead of time before the actual meeting. At the actual meeting, people would discuss under the moderator would facilitate the meeting, so people would discuss and decide if the work is good enough, whether it requires revision, and if it's revision, then how good, if there are criteria, what criteria that it needs to meet, like what is the weakness. So we try to have meeting. So after it's identified, then it will go back to repeat some of the early ones until no more need to follow up. But when you try to, let's say, inspect the code, how should the code be judged? Okay, some company has coding standard. Some coding standards are some guidelines, how to do indentation, how to name the variables, and so on. So that would they have to do the coding following that. But there may also be other documentation. For example, 如果寫 code 嘅時候咧，如果 inspect 緊嘅係 code 嘅時候咧，我哋可能咧就需要有另外一個 document 咧，可能係嗰個 design document。個 design document 咧可能會講晒有啲咩嘅 class 啊，每個 class 有啲咩嘅 method， 嗰啲 method 咧有啲乜嘢嘅 parameter， 咁同埋佢應該 return 翻啲咩嘅 result 翻嚟，咁會有一個咁樣嘅 document。咁呢一個嘅 document 咧就可以咧就係可能即係可以要嚟做你嗰啲 coding 嘅個準則，即係個 criteria， 即係話呢啲 code 咧一定要做到嗰樣嘢。咁當然，譬如另外有啲嘅考慮咧，就係你啲 code 係咪 readable 啦？其實喺我做工咁耐，我諗我真係試過有一間公司係真係用呢一樣嘢咯，即係咁佢真係有其他我做過起碼有10間即係因為我喺加拿大做嘅時候咧，我首先喺 IBM 係做咗5年咧，但係因為我覺得即係 IBM 嘅人工太少啦，咁我出去做 contract 啊，做 consultant， 即係賺多啲錢啊咁樣，咁係所以有機會咧係好快就轉一次工，即係可能1年半年咧就做完一個 contract， 最長嘅 contract 即係2年，咁所以做過可能10份8份即係唔同嘅公司咁樣咧，係得一間公司咧係即係有一個咁樣嘅嘢，咁就係 book 咗個 meeting room 啊咁樣咧，就有個 moderator， 咁起碼有 有兩個比較 senior 啲嘅，即係佢又識寫 program 嘅，咁就嚟睇我啲 program 啦咁佢可能會話啊呢度又點，嗰度又點咁有咩用途咧？即係其中一個原因，可能就係因為我嗰陣時喺嗰間公司係做個 contractor 咧，咁如果 contractor 咧唔知即係你哋冇乜經驗嘅時候咧contractor 咧有啲時候，如果唔好嘅 contractor 咧，佢可能會求其就係寫咗啲 code work 嘅就交貨，咁但係啲 code 咧你係冇人睇得明嘅 ，OK？咁變咗咧，將來如果啲 code 有 bug 嘅時候咧，就冇人識改啦。咁你一係咧又要重金禮聘叫翻嗰個人翻嚟幫手改，咁如果唔係，即係變咗你係叫硬食嘅嘢。咁可能唔知係咪佢哋嗰陣時係唔信咧，即係咁就即係咁我哋就變咗有嗰啲咁樣嘅即係有呢個 exercise 啦。咁我應該嗰次我都唔係俾人揼得好緊要嘅，都 OK 嘅。即係但係所以正話我講過咧，即係唔係大部分嘅公司都做呢一樣嘢嘅。即係如果佢哋覺得係嗰個 quality 好緊要嘅，咁佢哋有時做呢一樣嘢。但係點解要咁樣做咧？就係你試諗下咧，嗱 testing 有 testing 嘅 limitation，testing 嘅 limitation 咧就係咧，你主要其實你係只係 show 到佢有冇嗰個 function， 做唔做到嗰個 function， 但係入邊啲 code 靚唔靚 ，testing 係唔知噶嘛嚇。咁所以咧即係要需要有呢一啲咁樣嘅嘢。當然啦，如果你將來第時有興趣讀 research 做 research 嘅時候咧，有一個 area 喺 software engineering 嘅 research 咧就係叫做 program comprehension。咁咧就係咧嘗試可能用一啲即係自動嘅方法咧，半自動、全自動嘅方法咧，就去 analyze 啲 code 寫得易唔易明咯。咁呢啲但係呢啲係我諗就係都係喺 research 嗰度做，即係。可能好少公司好少人會用，咁但係呢個即係基本上面咧係 testing 咧係只係話限於係嗰啲 user 見到嘅 quality， 但係嗰個只係從 user 嘅角度去睇，但係 inspection 呢啲咧就係從包括埋 cover 埋嗰個 programmer 嘅角度，即係話 programmer 覺得呢啲 code 寫得好唔好，因為呢個都係好緊要嘅 ，OK？So let's take a short break and 5 minutes break and we'll come back.